This is a female, and this is the kestrel also, or a sparrowhawk is what most people call it. Very similar in color. Now, which one's prettier? This one or this one?
The male.
This one?
Yeah.
You know why?
Oh, I know.
What?
Because if they lay eggs in the nest, they don't want hunters to see them so they can raise them.
You know what, Shelby, that's just right on the money. She is camouflaged, so when she's sitting on a nest, another animal won't see her. This guy is pretty. Of course, boys are always prettier than girls, right?
No. Said the wrong thing.
Camouflage. Now, would another hawk eat that hawk?
Yeah.
Yeah. This shark shin's bigger. Yeah, very possible. This shark shin, it might eat the kestrel. It could, if it could get it killed, but there's some of these that definitely could. I'll pass the shark shin around. They're here. We have these
How's that white owl?
How many of you have a bird feeder at home? Do you ever see a hawk come around your bird feeder?
No.
Well, this is a Cooper's hawk. And a Cooper's hawk is a bird that will frequent your bird feeder. If you were watching your birds out there and there's a whole bunch of them on the feeder, and all of a sudden they like disappear into the bushes and they hide, it's probably because there's a hawk around.
Oh my gosh.
And this guy here loves to visit bird feeders. I get some people who get really mad and upset because, you know, their birds are getting eaten by a hawk. Well, it's usually a Cooper's hawk. Cooper's hawk, when it's flying, the back of its tail is rounded, kind of like a C. If you had it stood on edge, it would kind of be like a C. It's rounded. It also has a nice white patch that shows. So you can tell your Cooper's hawk that way. This looks similar. It's a bigger bird, has a different color chest on it. This has got a lot more white. This is a marsh hawk. You'll see this hawk around too. And what's really prevalent on this one when it's flying is this white patch on his tail. You see that, you're probably looking at a marsh hawk, and people don't know what they're, you know, it's like, I don't know what it was, just a hawk. Now, you just saw a Cooper's. Here's one that's immature. Hold that one up over there. See that? Look at the gray head. Look at this one's head. This is a young one. And that one's got the gray on the back. This one has brown, more buff. But it's an immature. Now this guy, this is what an immature bald eagle looks like. You see this here dark with these funny looking feathers in here? This is what you're going to see on an immature bald eagle if you see one. This is a rough-legged hawk. And the reason he's called rough-legged hawk is he's got feathers that come clear down to his toes. All the way down the leg, all the way to the toe. Now, that's not something you're going to see unless, you know, it's dead. Or you got really, really good binoculars. But they're around. Now, they come in different color phases. Here's a dark one. Right here is a light one. Look at the difference. Same hawk, same species, same sex, different color phases. Just like us with our different hair color. So they are similar, but the colors can be different. I'm only going to pass one of them because they're the same bird. Anybody tell me what this one is? What is it? How can you tell it's a red tail?
It's mature.
See that? Right there? That rusty red color? This one here is the easy one to identify when he's mature, because he always has that rusty red colored tail. If you have one that's immature, you can just start to see some of the red coming out. but you're not seeing it yet.
Ow!
In this one here, it would be your immature red tail, but you're starting to get it. When it gets all the red, all the barring goes away and you have nothing but red feathers.
You like that?
Notice their heads are the same, their backs are the same, chest a little bit different, but not much. But the big thing is the tail. How many of you know what a chicken hawk is? You ever hear of a chicken hawk? Well, a lot of the old farmers will talk about chicken hawks. Chicken hawks, there is no such thing as chicken hawk. This is the hawk they're always talking about. Because he would come in and he'd get into their chicken coop and he would steal a chicken, fly away with it, take it back to the nest to feed the other chick or his chicks. So this is what was called a chicken hawk. You know that they used to trap these hawks? They would take a pole and they would put a muskrat trap on top of it, and the hawk would land on that trap, and then they would go kill it. Hawks and owls weren't protected back in the old days. The only bird that they protected, birds of prey-wise, was the bald eagle. Other than that, you could have shot, if you saw a hawk or an owl, you could shoot it any time you wanted to. Now we had a big problem with hawks not reproducing very well. And there was a pesticide that the farmers were using on their farm fields called DDT.
DDT.
And what happened was it would be on the insects. The other animals would eat the insects that were contaminated, and then these birds would in turn eat the animal that ate the bird that was contaminated, or the animal that was contaminated.
And it never killed the hawk.
And what would happen is their eggshells were real thin because of this contaminant, and the eggs would die. So they weren't reproducing. So now DDT is illegal to use for a pesticide.
Yeah, we learned that in a few classes.
You did?
Yeah, we had a demonstration.
I'm not teaching you guys anything then, am I?
I learned that in school.
You did? Now, owls and hawks are good indicators of a healthy environment. If you do not have small animals out there, these animals here aren't going to have anything to eat. Now, you thinking that these are fast enough to catch and eat rattlesnakes? Well, I see hawks flying, and I'll see a dead snake hanging in his talons, and it'll be hanging down like this, the hawks flying off of it, they eat snake. But the red-tailed hawk is so fast, the rattlesnake is fast enough that when he's fast. Could you move fast enough to avoid getting struck by a rattlesnake?
No.
No way. Well, red-tailed hawk can. So the rattlesnake strikes, and the red-tailed hawk moves fast enough away to get away, and then it grabs it behind the head with its talons. And then it bites it right there, and kills it, and then it eats it.
What in the world?
So they actually can catch and kill and eat rattlesnakes.